trip, I don't know. I'm always down for adventure. So
for me, it was something that was always on my bucket list. I used to always watch adventure movies and road trip movies when I was little. So I always wanted to drive cross country and do just like a super long road trip. So.
Well, I wasn't really part of the planning process. No, I'm not saying it like that, but I wasn't. Y'all just told me. I was like, okay. But it was fun.
Okay. Once we figured out that we were gonna do this, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on driving cross country, and through that exploration I was able to find all of these places, and then I just would like show my husband all of these places that I thought that the three of us would all be interested in, and food places, adventure places, hiking, all that different stuff. And so that's basically, once we kind of got an idea of all the places that we wanted to go, that we wanted to explore, that we wanted to see, that would be in like a driving range and a time frame for when we wanted to come back, put that all together, and then it just came about from there. If I knew we would be driving through a particular state at a particular time frame, preferably daylight of course, then I would put in like things to do in that particular state.
Where did we go first? Wait.
Memphis?
never go back there.
I didn't like this place either.
Yeah. The first part of our trip, we went to Memphis. That was kind of where we headed to from home. So that was like a 13-hour drive. So we went to Memphis, and the only reason why we went to Memphis, that was a part of our trip was adventure and exploration. The other part was like just like a food tour. So Memphis, that was like kind of like Brandon's thing. He's a barbecue type person, so he wanted to check out the barbecue. So
and it wasn't good.
Then we did go to, what was that, downtown, the music stuff.
Oh yeah,
the one thing that I wish we would have done there, and we were right by it, was where Martin Luther King was assassinated. Then we went through Arkansas, Kansas. No, we didn't.
Kansas was on the way back.
That was on the way back.
right. I would say you just put the cream on there and it'll go away. It ain't contagious. Alright, this is an update of our road trip. Just left Memphis, just left out of Central Barbecue in Midtown. Woo! Y'all really don't want to go there. Don't waste your time, because the ribs was alright, but them side orders ain't kicking it, shorter. But the ribs was good. The barbecue tastes like they ain't put no type of seasoning, no rub on the barbecue. It was dry. So I don't know about Memphis. Like Memphis, the ribs was okay, but
Texas don't let me down. From Memphis, we headed to Dallas. Texas was mostly all about the food for us. Like, we got hella food from Texas. We stopped at Dallas to sleep, and that's where we slept that night. Then we went to Austin the next.
And stay in the camper.
Go back.
Anyway, so then we headed to Austin the next morning.
We stopped at Round
Rock.
Which you gotta go to if you go through Texas.
Hands down the best
I don't understand how y'all
donuts
that
I ever had. Period.
We won't even eat donuts from nowhere else.
Yeah,
man.
I haven't had, what's that place? Krispy Kreme since then. Then we headed to San Antonio. We had friends down there. But we only stayed one night, so not even a full night.
Stayed one night.
Yeah,
like
but in San Antonio, the one thing we did was we went to the Riverwalk, and I really enjoyed the food in San Antonio. What?
And the chicken strip place, that was so good. Them chicken strips was so good.
The chicken strip.
The chicken strip place.
Trinity, it's not.
Them chicken strips was so good.
Is she talking about churches?
Yes.
And then we still got an Airbnb so that we could get some rest. Particularly for me to get some rest, because I was gonna drive since Brandon drove there. And we had a 10-hour drive ahead of us to get to New Mexico. So I slept for like 2 hours, if that. And then we got up in the middle of, not even the middle, like 9 or 10 at night, and headed to New Mexico to White Sands National Park. From Texas to the West Coast, everything was all about adventure from that point.
They had no food at all. No McDonald's, no anything.
You did get McDonald's in New Mexico.
I got McDonald's, Mark. It took me a while to get McDonald's.
Who ain't had no McDonald's?
It was food in the car though. That was the point of having food in the car.
I know, but I was so shocked at how they don't have any fast food places like we do.
Both of these we took in White Sands National Park. We knew we wanted to take family pictures. I had already researched it, and I thought the background was super amazing, and it was amazing. Then we stayed there for probably about 3 hours, maybe 3 hours, and then we headed to Monument Valley. Then we stayed in Golding's Resort
Lodge.
Oh, Golding's Lodge. That joint was, I like that. That place was dope. Like, I love Monument Valley. I love the Navajo people. So from Monument Valley,
we went to Bryce Canyon. I think Bryce Canyon was my favorite part. My favorite part. Yeah. It was scary when we got to the part where you could actually fall.
It was a part where you could fall in it?
I mean, if you were.
yeah.
If you weren't being
smart. Yeah.
Like when we were looking at the, what are those things called?
Hoodoo.
Yeah, the hoodoos. That part where we took the picture at.
Bryce Canyon was a force to be reckoned with. That place is stunning. To be able to see something like that in person, coming from where I come from, that place, I feel like half of this trip, just to see all these different landscapes, like for me, was absolutely insane. But Bryce Canyon National Park was absolutely phenomenal for me.
That's when your mother got married at me.
Oh, because you weren't doing it right.
From Bryce Canyon National Park, we headed to Moab, where Arches National Park was. And we left Bryce Canyon kind of late. So I think it was like a 3-4 hour drive. So the plan was to sleep in the van, which we did. I ain't saying the plan was. We actually slept in the van. And that was ultimately the plan from the very beginning. We had a hotel, but the hotel was the next day. So we went to the hotel and we went in their parking lot. And that was the worst thing ever. Now let me tell y'all, matter of fact, let me show y'all what I bought for us to sleep in the van. So
I like that hotel.
I bought these body pillows, 2 of them, to put in the third row so that we would be comfortable. First of all, it was hot as hell. Even though we was in the desert and it was cold at night, we was cramped up and we was hot as hell. And then we had to pee. And Brandon kept opening the door. Trinity's butt was exposed. I mean, it was
my butt. You hit your butt because my butt wasn't exposed.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
I peed in a car.
You peed in the floor?
Yeah, I was peeing in a Gatorade bottle and then some of it swirted out.
When you was swirted, my butt was pretty much exposed the whole trip. We hiked Arches National Park into the Delicate Arch.
That was amazing. That was the most beautifulest thing in this world. That was dope. That was dope to this hike up there, and then to see that.
It's like, right, it's like how does one know, like you hike all the way up to something that just reveals all of that beauty, right. Like how is that even possible? I don't know. And Moab is lit.
It was fun.
It's a fun
Moab is
town.
Nice. Very nice.
It's a fun town. It's lit. It's beautiful. Like it has everything all in one. Moab is everything. Then from Moab we went to Colorado. From Moab was our trip headed back home. So from Moab, Utah, we decided to go back home. Initially we were going to go to California. We were going to drive all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast, catch a plane and come back. But with the pandemic and the numbers increasing in Cali and the wildfires, we decided to stop in Utah and then drive back home. From Moab, we headed to Colorado.
And Colorado was very pretty. And I can't believe we just drove through it. Like we have to go back. And we have to go, is Aspen or Colorado? Mm-hmm. We gotta go there. Then we gotta go to the
hot springs. Colorado, I pretty much had my head out the window for most of the drive. Like
colorful Colorado.
Jesus, like I can only imagine what it looks like in the wintertime, but the summertime it was beautiful. And it is very colorful, as it says. It was extremely colorful.
I like how most of their architecture was like cabin. Like Colorado, if you looked at like the schools and stuff.
Yeah, Colorado, we definitely need to stay there. We just drove through Colorado and didn't stay. We stopped at what was our Kansas?
St. Louis.
Oh, in St. Louis. Yeah. So, and then from St. Louis we headed home, right? 13 hours. We was tired as hell.